fácil usar.
Familiar, yeah, easy to use.
Yes, it's
Friendly.
easy to use. Just don't worry if you don't have experience. No problem, because the approach of this workshop is speak also about the audiovisual practices and immersive experiences. Okay, let me start. And in my side, this is a little bit sorry, this is my side. This one is the IBAN presentation. It's speak a little bit about live cinema context, what is live cinema, and just a couple of examples about. After that, explain live coding. Maybe, for example, you understand perfectly what is live coding practice. You are super involved. And after that, I explain a little bit why this research is important for us, and also what kind of tools we use to make this possible. Okay, and live cinema is audiovisual practice. I don't know, somebody here are familiar with this kind of practice or not enough? You, a little bit? Mm-hmm.
What am I?
Yes, yes, yes. It's a practice with the improvisation. In this practice, the improvisation with videos and also generative graphics with music in real time is very important. And it's not just, for example, DJing. DJing is a practice more close to the DJ, but it's DJ with videos or something like that. But live cinema, no, precisely. Live cinema is more is for create narratives, deconstructed narratives, or I don't know, things with association and slippage of meaning and things like that. And for example, this I put this little text definition, but we found a lot of similitudes, sorry, with live cinema and live coding, because live coding is also a practice, a performative practice in real time through software. That is the similarity. This is just an example for live cinema experience.
The
This is for
Environment Canada
other
forecast
areas.
issued at 11:30 a.m. Wednesday, December 31st, Winnipeg at the Forks. Temperature -11, wind chill -20, mainly sunny, wind west 25 kilometers per hour, relative humidity 70%, barometric pressure 101.4 kilopascals and falling. For tonight, mainly cloudy, periods of light snow beginning after midnight.
Years old, graduated from grade 12. I put in a half and half crops here with Gavin along the border, so it was very small. That was my first crop.
It means in this case, the artist use archive for make not precisely a documental, but more deconstructive documental with music, with vocals, with voice. Sorry.
That year, I guess it would be 1977.
And also, something important in live cinema practice is also use multiple screens
So I have to say about
to
that.
construct the narrative or things like that. Let me show you other example. Sorry, this is other one. And live cinema is also highly inspired for other practice called expanded cinema, but the difference in expanded cinema is it's for with analog formats. Let me show you one expanded cinema. Just the first. This is a documental. Let me just go to the good part of the video.
in, you can actually hear the zoom in
Oh,
the
sorry.
piece. But I was actually composing a piece of music, noise, whichever way you like to take it. So things do slip in and out of sync with the actual image.
Yes, in this case, for example, this artist, Liz Rhodes, is the very beginners about these kind of practices. And in this case, she reflect about the light and the sound, the same sound of the projectors, and working with that aesthetic for build a narrative experience, but also immersive experience because it's in a big space, but it's not in the inside of the cinema theater. Have other kind of context, and with multiple screens also, and trying to construct a narrative through the light, only the light. In a moment, I don't know why happened this, but and that is live coding. It's very similar in just for someone don't knows. It's an artistic practice to generate music, image, choreography, and text, driven by computer algorithms, basically. But in this workshop, this concept is a fusion of these two artistic practices because we found a lot of familiarities about. It's two people in the several cases. One people making music with software, or in this case, a programming language. Another one making visuals or things like that. And in conjunction, starts a new narrative together. And it's for that live cinema coding is basically the same because just the difference is the software, because live cinema in the beginning, the artists in live cinema using for example Resolume Arena. Resolume Arena is a software for VJs, and it's for process videos in real time, and other softwares like Module 8 and sometimes processing. But let me show you the other slide. Okay, this is the tools, and the comparisons about, and in this case we hacking and expanding these softwares in the search of the hybridation of two practices. And why I say hacking? Because, for example, in live coding practices, for the beginning, the majority of the programming languages are more focused in music. For example, if I think in Super Collider is for digital synthesize of sounds and to compose music, and is too close to algorithmic music in contemporary music and things like that. After that, start other kind of tools like processing. Processing is more for people don't have any programming preparation, but it's a way to start to make not precisely visuals, or not precisely cinema, but just graphics things and with photos and processing photos and things like that. And it's for that Ivan and I start to try to hybridize a little bit these approaches. For example, we use tidal cycles and we try to control Resolum Arena, live cinema software, or the most common software for that practice, but control it for algorithms in real time. That is the start to experiment like that. Let me show you, for example.
Well,
That is my voice.
now I want to explain to you a little about the
This is Resolum Arena, for example, and is very optimized to controlling videos, because we are very interested to record our own videos and put these little loops of video and manipulate it in real time, but like with tidal cycles. And for do that, we developed this thing in processing is delivery bridge tidal cycles through OSCC. Yes, this está bien, OSC. OSCC, and the final. Let me put the sound.
we have a pair of modules to make generative graphics also. And so that is implemented.
This is a tutorial I do. Yeah, sorry. But for example, you can see in that rack, you can see all the video clips for calls these video clips, and also put post-processing things in these video clips, but controlling through algorithm. Yeah.
I just want to pop in and say, Factories just acquired a license to Resolum Arena, so if anybody gets really excited about this, you can come play with it at our space and not have to purchase the license yourself.
Wow. Well, yes, and that is a problem, no? Because Resolum Arena it's an amazing software, but it's expensive. It's very expensive, and maybe this is not correct to say, but in Latin America we hack a lot this program to can use it, because it's super difficult have the money for this kind of software. And through the hacking we can use this, and using with other open source softwares like Tidal or like Super Collider or like processing. In this case, let me.
Patient can be used with the new Tidal,
Sorry. With my
OSC.
yeah. Okay, this is the.
So they can see the synchronize between the order of Tidal and the signal in Resolum. There are latencies, but very minimal.
Yes, in this case, this is tidal cycles, and it's connecting to OSSC and custom functions to control that videos. For example, in this case, I put post-processing in this video with an order in tidal cycles. And let me show you. For example, this concert is with this tool, more developed. No. Bueno. In this case, this but it's a live cinema coding piece about a girl in Mexico City trying to have a cyberpunk stylish and, and things like that. Let me show you, for example. For example, in this part of this narrative, the girl start the makeup for transform himself in a style, Japanese style called Harajuku. It's very ¿qué sería? Barroco, ¿cómo sería?
En Barroco.
Aha, baroque with a lot of makeup and kawaii things, and it's very beautiful. But in Mexico exists a couple of persons adopting this kind of aesthetic, and this concert is about that. And in this case, the synchronization is perfect because you're controlling with the algorithm. The algorithm have the structure of the music and controlling the samples or synthesizers, but also controlling all the effects and all the videos. And we can decide what video in what moment, what kind of effect, but everything is algorithmically connected, and that produce a very immersive experience and synesthesia feeling. No, that is not precisely in Beijing phenomena is most improvisation. No, it's more expression with music, more free, and also the video controlling or the graphics is more free. It's just improvised together. But in this case, we try to produce a cinematographic experience or something like that. Let me show you. Okay. Okay, for the beginning, or questions or insights is about the cinema, the construction of the cinema, and how can I provide an immersive experience through the sound and through the narrative and through the music and the history, no? And after that, we try to explore with VR tools. Let me show you this experiment. XR is like it's a VR tool to make your own instruments and your own synthesizers, but inside a VR world, a VR environment. And in this case, we try to hybridize, mix together the live coding performance techniques for make changes in the environment and make changes in my avatar, for example. And in my case, I controlling the avatar and the synthesizers inside this VR world. And that is a very, very interesting experience because live coding is have a performatic language without the body because it's in laptop. It's laptop performance. You are very concentrated writing your code or modifying your code. And in the case of VR, you need use your body like when you play a guitar or when you play a drums. No, you need moving through the space. You need controlling, for example. Sorry, for example, in this, I built this synthesizer inside. And Ivan, for example, controlling the lights inside the sorry, the VR space. And I perform that synthesizer. Sorry. What is oh my God. Okay. And after that experience, I say thank you so much. Yes, I'm very dry. Thank you. Oh, delicious. Thank you. And after this reflection about the body, the performatic, the laptop performance, and also this necessity to control everything through code, everything through writing code. We start other development, and this development is build our own environment through Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is a software to make video games, and in this case, this artwork called Autoconstruction is a series of chapters about speculative architecture, but building in Unreal Engine and controlling through tidal cycles. Let me show you. This is just an excerpt. And it was a very very exciting concert in Mexico City. Because you can control everything, but in this case, all the cinematographic narrative is not through videos, is in your own environments. And also we are super interested in Real Engine because have a big potential to make movies, to make CGI art and things like that, no? And it's for that we translate all this research about live cinema to this world. And also, I confess, we are very interested in VR approaches because the pandemic, we change all the tools, all the relationship with the scenarios because we need to be confined and we think like musicians everything is over because without concerts and without people front to front, the experience of the music is loose. No, it don't exist. But we in that time we make a research a lot of this kind other ways to present a concert inside a VR space with digital bodies or avatars with other kind of instruments because it's never be the same experience like this concert, no? Or like in this moment we are together and speaking and I can see you and feel, no? But it's just other way to come to understand the music and understand the space also, no? Because in the immersive spaces exist the scale, just the perception of the scale, because you can be in your home, but also with the VR tools, you can be in a forest or you can be wherever you want, and you can make the history you prefer. You can have a lot of animals or aliens or whatever, no? And it's for that we grow our investigation about video, just move all that insights to the VR world and video games also, no? In this case, this piece, we will have a concert in Factory Media Center, and we are very invited to come. Is this artwork? Let me show you just the no, I'm finished. Is the moment for Ivan, because Ivan explained this develop what we do these kind of things basically.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let me. As Mali just mentioned it, we use Unreal Engine. We have this repository. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We have this repository with the workflow to control Unreal Engine from title cycle. No. Let me show a little bit demo. For example, this is a very simple 3D scene, no? And this is title cycle, no? And if I play this a little bit line, can you hear the sound? Yes?
See?
Yeah. Okay, but if I combine function for sound, for example the S, and function for control light, no, we get this expression. If I change and the idea is controlling the parameter. They are a new concept in media art is procedural cinema, using a video game platform to make short film or animation, no? And controlling cameras and lighting and factors and many key parameters for audiovisual experimentation, no? The focus, the concept is not play oriented video game. It's video game used not for playing, you know, for other purposes, no? And the repository is important. It's necessary to let me Mali send to the group the URL, no?
Okay. Yes.
Let me
Yes, to download. I
This is the GitHub. If you enter to my GitHub, Ivan Abreu.
Iván, espera.
I sent it to
Okay.
you guys at the email at 5:30.
Wow.
The GitHub link. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes, it's just for if you want to install the repo. It's in the GitHub, the Ivan Abreu GitHub. You can download this. Okay. Sigue, baby.
Okay. And okay. Well, first I want to speak about our workflow and how we work with these tools. No? We have this classification for sound visualization. The most common expression is audio reaction, and this other three level is audio reaction disaggregated by analysis. Analysis separating frequencies and this kind of process, no? And at the end, music composition visualization is a little bit different because we represent the sound of the music, no? in dividing this different way of different process. Pre-process is when the visualization is triggering for the live notation or algorithms, and the post-process is when you represent a digital render variable of the sound. No? It's different because in the first you represent more the ideas of the composition. It's more the logic, no? And in the second way, post-process, is more the perception, the sensation of the psychoacoustic sensation of the music, only together, no? All the instrument, no? And you only have or the volume, the gain, or have the frequency, but we don't have the subtle variable of I don't know, some subtle instrument and these kind of things. No? And when we work, we separate we have two different workflows. Narrative workflow is one approach, and technical is another different problem. No? In the narrative workflow, in our case, the sound of the music is the base. No? We first create the music. Mali is great musician, and this is more her role, more than me. No? And after that, we analyze the intention, because the algorithm sometimes is more is different than the sensation that we have in psychoacoustic term, you know. And we, for example, we analyze the different intentions, and sometimes it's a little bit different the perception that we have about the result of the composition than the algorithms, and we separate this. Sometimes the music algorithms is perfect in the first form, and sometimes we need refactoring this algorithm to obtain the real sensation about the synesthetic sensation related to the music. I don't know if my English is clear, but is clear this part? Yes? Okay.
I don't know the students. What do you think? Yes.
Okay.
No, I think that, I'm sorry, Ivan. No, I think that's interesting, because you may think that just because you technically use the same information, the perception is going to be just linked all the time, but that is not the case. But because when you see it as an audience, you don't see a link. It's just like random movement, like audiovisual movements. So it's not just about the technical approach, but also the perception, which obviously we hear at a different like velocidad, like
Velocity.
velocity,
I don't know.
than seeing it. Like
Mhm.
it's I think, or I don't know if you know, like our ear is faster than our eyes. Right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah. So I think it's very interesting.
Yes, and in the technical workflow is in this case for use these plugins and this solution, we use three platforms: Tidal Cycle, Processing, and Unreal. We use Processing because is the code in Tidal Cycle is really short, because we only create a custom function, no? For lighting, for post processing effects, and forget the address, because OSC needs a lot of address, no, to control different things, no? And this we automate this function in processing. And in this case, if you see the repository, we have processing is a server. We need to run this server to relate Tidal Cycle with Unreal. Some example for Tidal Cycle. In this case, this code is to connect OSC's custom extra code we need execute, no? And this simple example in Unreal, and it's not so complex because Unreal spend a lot of computational resource of the machine, and for pedagogic purposes, this example is really simple, no? Only cubes and sphere and lighting, and really simple. This is an example. This example have 4 lamps, and 5 cameras, and some simple geometry, no? Cubes and this kind of this. And the user can custom and create more camera and put more complex environment to use this, no? And let me okay. The other piece of the solution is this processing. We need only room processing, and this is only for data. No create visual, no nothing. Only refactoring the parameter of Tidal Cycle and prepare in the format that Unreal Engine needs. No? Only it's only to bridge it. No? Okay, and it's important modify some parameter. For example, this direction is only for local machine, but if we have a collective performance, many performance can affect the same visual with different music, with
Yes,
different Tidal Cycle platforms.
yes, through different computers. You can
Computer,
have
exactly.
yes, you can have one computer with the video game environment, and you can have 4 performers, and the performers can modify the cameras, the lights, the materials. For example, in a scenario, also toggle animations inside Unreal Engine or things like that.
Yeah. There are some ¿cómo se diría? Topic to pay attention. For example, sometimes we need when we tell history, in 14, 20 minutes, no? We have a moment for visualize the music algorithm, but we have the moment to change the intention of the storytelling, you know? Maybe the concert have 4 moments, 5 moments, you know, with different dramatic intention, no? In this case, it's important use sometimes a sub or once to avoid the cycle, continuous cycle of the music, no? And send only one trigger, no? And change, for example, the environment or change the camera, no? And the rest we use normal cycles, no? The one, the word, depend on the layer of the music. No? Other thing to pay attention is when we use tidal cycle, it's important to know what pattern guide the temporal structure of the composition. For example, this example, if I, let me show. For example, sorry, I lost the. Okay. If I put this this example, this
Ivan,
is.
Ivan, it's possible you can make bigger the code because it's a little just.
This code, this.
Yes. No. The
Yeah.
tidal cycles code in the. Yes. Yes, just bigger, please.
This.
Yes.
But
Un poquito más
this
grande.
exa-
Hazlo un poquito más grande.
Okay. Okay.
Ajá, ya.
Yes?
Yes. That is
Okay.
perfect.
If I put this, for example, this pattern, we divide the cycle, the temp, in 2 ways and multiply the second part for 2, okay? But if I put another, for example, to select some sample inside the folder BB or CP, no? For example, 0 and 1, no? The first file for this and the second file for this folder, no? Okay. But if I put this operator, this pattern is the base of the is only hook. And if I put this operator, this pattern is the base, no? And it's important to know because the visual respect the pattern that our visual is related to the base pattern. With this operator is this, but with another operator is this. And it's important to have this pay attention to create the efficient synergy between visual and sometimes we need, for example, if you see this code have a lot of the name is nesting, okay? This division of this second part of the pattern divide inside, okay? And the sound is this. But when sometimes we want no reaction to all these sounds, sometimes maybe only this and this, and we need refactoring the pattern, put silence And in this case,
And yes, we can see. Okay.
as you see, like the reaction is only for this sound and this sound, and don't use other sounds. And sometimes it's necessary to produce, I don't know, any sensation in the visual, and you don't want have a visual for all the music pattern. No? And other thing is we have a null sound. For sometimes we need silence, but the silence with this operator cancel the pattern. Don't send trigger. And sometimes we need silence, but with trigger, you know, and we have a sound without sound, you know. It's a folder with the name is null, and inside the folder we have the sound without data. You know? Sometimes it's necessary for some effects, maybe, you know? And all the possibility to manage the time is possible to procedural film language, you know? Cameras, lighting, post-process, to manage color, geometry, texture, include meta sound, i.e. character, you know? And it's interesting because the time the music is abstract. Time is not the concept is not important. It's important the sensation. No? It's more for the body, you know. No? And when you control visual with this logic, no? Produce it's a different way, no? and produce a abstract film, no? Commanded by music. No? Let me show the other possibility. This is if you open this code. This code is the code with the function. No? You can see all the possibility in this function. For example, camera and the time for change from one camera to other. No? Exposure of the camera. Exposure will run. No? In this case, it's in pop, it's immediately, and in this case, you can change the exposure of the camera in 2 seconds, 1 second. No? The time is normalized. If you put 1, it's 1 second. 0.5 is the half of second. No? 2 seconds, and so on. You can manipulate the color, the pixel color of the render, no? And offset right, or you can turn off or on off the lighting and change the intensity and change the color of the I don't know, and the location of geometry and visible or hiding some geometry, or translate and rotate, and this basic parameter for 3D environment. No? And to do that, we need, for example, let me to close this video game room in the independent windows, and it's important. I don't know, this key is backstick. I don't know in English is correct the name. And open this console. Let me close. Okay. In this case, if you run, it's better run in standalone because use in a better way the results of the computer. No?
Ivan, just pause. I
Huh?
just una pausa.
Okay.
I just want to know if anybody here have Unreal Engine in the computer or not. No.
Yeah.
Ah, okay,
But
okay,
I don't.
okay. Do you have experience in Unreal?
Limited. It's very limited.
Okay. Yes, because it's maybe it's not important if you don't have it because it's a very heavy software. Needs 13 gigabytes to install it. It's not necessary you install in this moment, but maybe in that case, we prefer you see the process a little bit, and after that, if you need support or if you want have questions, we can share our email or Instagram account for make a continuously this process. But don't worry if you don't have Unreal, because I understand no for make this you just don't sorry you see I mean you need know about like coding and know Tidal, but also you need know a little bit Unreal Engine. In these cases, for example, Ivan and I we use Unreal Engine together and we know tidal cycles. But for example, you can collaborate with other artists. No, that it's a very interesting and healthy practice. No, the collaboration with a video game developer, no, or digital artist or CGI artist, and you can make this kind of experiences. For example, you can play and prepare all the music composition, and you can together in collaboration you can make a narrative and scenario and everything, no? Because I understand, no? I know maybe I'm a musician, but I only can do music. But Unreal Engine is free, and also it's not too much complicated to understand, I guess, because you don't need programming just with code. The logic of Unreal Engine is most like boxes, make things with connections. Yes, it's necessary have a little experience about the logic of programming, no? With if or with loop or building functions and things like that. But the other advantage of this software, you can found a lot of tutorials free in internet, and you can start with something very very easy, no, for improve this. Yes.
I really like to ask questions.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I'm just curious, and this might be a silly question, but how do you link processing to Unreal? Like,
Why?
no, how? Like, does it just when you're in processing, does it automatically do the
Okay.
commands for
Okay.
Unreal?
No. It's true that it's a very important step in this process because we use the OAC protocol.
Okay.
Yes, yes. OAC is all the magic about this
Yeah.
because you can connect directly Tidal to Unreal, but the problem is the data because because Tidal send a lot of information and data to the software, and you need something between to parsing to make a much easier communication, I guess, and that is developed for Ivan. Ivan is a super crazy processing people. Lo siento, I'm sorry. Yes, he had a lot of experience in processing, and processing is based in Java, and I mean it's just a way to the communication together, but maybe
And
Ivan.
that's the program on the GitHub that you were talking about?
Yes, in the
Yeah.
GitHub you can found everything, the processing sketch, and the processing sketch is open. You can customize if you need other function, for example, you can put your own functions and your own things, but it's necessary know a little bit Java to do that.
Sorry, we wanted to make just a break of 5 minutes, just to change the SD of the camera.
Yes.
But also, Ivan, I don't know if you can show us the process of opening the files on GitHub. Just basically opening everything. If people want to install it later on. Sí, solo compartir el proceso. O sea, cómo baja cada uno, cómo se abre.
Y bueno, lo que preguntaban ahorita era cómo hacen. It's better in Spanish. Just say your question. Sí, o sea, cómo es, o sea, que expliques como ese blueprint donde se hace la conexión de OSC a processing.
Okay.
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 Vamos a hacer un break de 5 minutos. Y I'm gonna also record directly from my computer, so there's also going to record Ivan directly.
Listo, vamos a empezar de nuevo.
So we can start again. And so again, I'm going to record the screen. And Ivan is going to show the process of installing these if you want to do it like in your home.
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first we need. This is the. If you let me. Okay, if you visit this GitHub, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, in this GitHub, in my repository, this repository, Live Cinema Coding ICLC 2023. Okay. Enter in this repository. Okay, this is the repository for this implementation with example code, and first, please download the compression zip file with all the content. I'm going to put in my desktop, okay, and for factory media center, okay. Okay. It's really fast because it's only the most of the content is code and some geometry related simple geometry. Okay. I go to the folder with the zip file and uncompress in your machine, in your folder. And we must to have this folder, Live Cinema Coding ICLC 2023 Master. Ready?
Sorry, can you repeat that part?
Yes, just decompress the zip. Yes.
Yeah, uncompress the zip.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's different in Mac OS and Windows OS. Ready?
Yes. Oh, I don't
Yes.
know. Do you have any problems to access to the folder? Or?
I missed the first step. No.
Ah, okay, okay. ¿Te puedes ir al GitHub?
Ah, the GitHub.
Un momento. Is just download
In code, in the code button, download zip.
Just is download the zip, and after that unzip the folder.
And put
Yeah,
in any folder.
yeah,
Any folder.
Yes.
Yes.
No problem. Yes. No, sí, puedes continuar, Iván.
Yeah. Okay. Inside the folder, we have. Let me. Okay. Inside the folder, we have 3 folders: processing, Tidal, and Unreal. This PDF is a presentation, and the README is the README. This README is this markdown for a file with images, but it's necessary is open in some viewer for markdown. No, as you see, is only code. No, but we have 3 folders, and we need processing. If you don't have processing, we go to the processing.org. Because we need processing to run the sketch with the server that it is a bridge between Unreal and Tidal. Okay. And in processing, you need to download the version for your operating system, Mac or Windows. No? Okay. Processing is similar, is a zip compressed file. Okay, and okay, if we have ready the processing file, the processing program, no, the same process.
Yes,
Unzip the processing, and processing is really friendly. When you uncompress the file, is you have this processing dot execute extension, and double click and it's ready. No? Okay. Usually, when you open processing the first time, you have this simple editor with stop, play, and space, this space to write any sketch for generative graphics and these kind of things. No? But the important thing is to have processing to run the sketch, the sketch of the GitHub.
If anyone have problem with this, just tell me and I can go in your direction to help. To help you.
Let me close the other processing. Stop. Okay. When you have processing, you open in the folder. I put in the desktop, factory media center, live cinema, and processing. Inside the processing, we have 2 folders, and it's important to know that this folder, the name is OSC Tidal to Unreal, is our folder, okay? Is the application to connect Tidal with Unreal, no? But it's possible. There are many core code. The core of the processing have a lot of libraries, but in this case, OSC library is not ready when you download the processing. It's important activate this library. This library is necessary to add after download processing because it's not
native in the installation.
No.
Yes, we need download this library and install it in processing.
See, and we have 2 ways to install this library. First, I'm going to show the easy way. The easy way is sketch, import, manage libraries. It's important to have a connection to internet, no? And these windows, you can search OSC, and this option, OSC P5, is the library that we need to connect OSC in processing with any other program, Ableton Live, I don't know, Touch Designer, Unreal, any program for real-time graphics or music, no? Okay, and in my case, we can install OSC or uninstall. In this case, I have a preview version, but it's not isn't important, no? You need put install, okay? Okay, if you don't see the library in this window, you can use the brute force, you know, and it's really simple too, no? In this folder, we have other folder. The name is OSC Library for Processing. Can you see this folder? Yes.
Can you give us like 2 minutes, Ivan?
What?
Can you give us, nos das 2 minutos?
Sí.
Está la instalación del OSC.
Ajá.
Entonces, ya te digo.
Vale, vale. Ok.
OSC. Esa. Ya, that one. And install. And then you are making notes, right? Yeah.
Do we have to close it?
Do we have to close processing after installing a library or not?
Yeah, we need to have processing before.
No, but like when you install a library, like the OSC library in processing, do we need to close processing after installing?
Depends. If you do for the in menu bar import library, you don't need open and reopen, or close and reopen. But if you do the other process is put this folder. I uncompress this. If you put this folder, copy, and in the document folder, we have processing folder, this processing folder. And inside we have another folder, the name is libraries, and paste in this place. Two-wave is the same. When you install through the interface, the processing put the folder in this place is the same. Yes, you know?
Yeah, it's the same as the way that you already installed it. But this is the other option.
Yeah,
Okay, we're ready.
this option is more simple. No, it's copy and paste the folder inside the libraries folder, inside the processing, inside the documents.
Perfect. Thanks, Ivan. Everyone has already installed the library.
Perfect. If we have installed the library, when we play this button, run, in this part, in this black console, no, if you don't have any message, red message warning, everything is okay. In this part. In this part, okay?
Everyone, you don't have any problems, right? Yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Perfect. Okay. Well, this server is running, everything is okay, and it's important to understand that Unreal send message in this port to processing, and processing send message to Unreal in this port, okay? And this address is the network address. If you, for example, if you, sorry. Let me, ¿por qué no puedo? Sorry. Okay. Let me explain something. This number is a convention to speak with your own computer, no? 127.0.0.1. Any computer, when you put this number, is to send data through the network to your own computer, you know? No? And remember that all these application function with the network, with with the connection is through the net. Okay. Okay. And if I put ipconfig in PC, I have this number, and if you see, it's different to this, you know? Okay? When we work in a live show, we use two computers, one computer for music and another computer for visual. No? And it's important to change. For example, the computer for the visual, put this number, put here. Okay, but it's only if you're using two computers or three or four or whatever, you know. If you using only your own computer from Tidal and from Unreal, you can leave this convention number, and this number is international convention in any operating system to speak through the network with your own computer, you know? Okay? Ready?
Yeah, questions?
Yes, it's only information, additional information to use this implementation, not only in one computer, two or three or whatever, no? Okay? Okay. Let's go to the Tidal, no? In Tidal, we have in the folder, in the folder of the GitHub, we have another two folder, Tidal and Unreal, okay? Tidal have two files, example, and this implementation to connect OSC Tidal with another platform, no? Not only processing. Include we can connect directly Tidal with Unreal or Ableton Live or I don't know, any other program that support this protocol. Okay. Okay. If I open this, let me open this file. Desktop. Factory Media Center, Live Cinema, okay, Tidal. We have this and this, okay? First, I going to open the library to connect OSC. Open. And if you see this code have the same number in the processing, you know? The address IP network identify and the same port. If you see processing have 1818, the same port and the same address. Okay? Okay. We don't need change this because processing is in the same machine in this case, no? Okay. And we need run this code. First, import this library, and you run with control enter, you know, for control enter for many lines and shift enter for one line. No, in this case we need control enter and run control enter. It's important to know that when you run any code in tidal cycles, all the code without a space, no? If I put a key one space, we run only this part, but this part doesn't work because there are space, no? It's important, don't modify this, no? And run control. And in this part, we have all the function that we need to send custom data focus on visuals, no? Color and intensity of the light, or any ramp for transition, or geometry and whatever, no? Location, okay?
Yes.
And
Sorry for interrupt. In this case, this is works with the tutorial, but if you have some experience in Tidal, and you can put your custom functions there, because this is just for the tutorial, but you can improve other and connect in a real engine.
yes, you can create your own function. For example, I know function happy, okay? And I want to say integer value, okay? And happy. And I can use the function. I don't know. D1 happy and send the value 8, you know? It's a little simple to create custom function, you know? Okay?
Does it make sense to install Tidal now? Or should we install Tidal?
Do you don't have Tidal in your computer? Maybe it's easy to make it, but I'm not sure if you want to try it. Just a moment.
No, if you don't have Tidal, maybe only see the process, and after that, because it's ¿cómo se dice el talón de Aquiles en inglés?
It's difficult to install, but not too much now. Yes, it's super more better now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
If you could, like, after you explain all of this, if you can share the website and more or less the process of installing.
Yes, and this is
Yes, is you enter to Tidal cycles?
no, but this is very, very nice because this is like a tutorial of this process. No, not a tutorial. It's amazing recording this process. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, Mali is expert in installation in multiple versions. It's not my area in this work.
Yes, in fact, I'm styling all the time in the different computers of Ivan. Every time I'm styling the Tidal for him.
Yeah. Okay.
It's interesting. It doesn't have the download button in Tidal website.
No, in documentation, yes. Go to documentation,
Okay.
and it's
Installation.
Install Tidal, and we had all that is the
Operating system.
systems, and also we have a lot of documentation of troubleshoot in that process. And this is for PC. This is the most easy way to install Tidal right now with this library, Chocolate. Chocolate is something in, I'm not sure it's JavaScript, I guess, but you just install this, and after that you puedes bajar un poquito, Ivancho?
Sí.
No. Because Tidal needs all this, no? Need Git, need Super Collider, need C3 plugins, and SuperDirt and Haskell, and a lot of things. but with Chocolate, you can just in one step download all, and it's very, very, very useful. Yes, but sometimes don't works, and you need do all these steps manually, and that is
Yes.
horrible. But
And I think it's great to have title cycles installed in your computer. Because yeah, there's like some online tools like Estuary. And there's the other one that we were like mentioning.
Strudel.
Strudel, where you can use title without installation. But it's always like nice to have it in your computers for these kind of processes. So if you are interested, you can also like email Christina, and I can do like a follow-up workshop, so I can help you install tidal cycles in your computers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm sorry. Yes, it's true. Jessica says, for example, Estuary or Mini Tidal or other ones. We don't never try to use with this, but maybe can works. I'm not sure. It's possible make things we always see with Estuary in
Nadia,
web
you
or
were
not?
saying that David is going to apply that, always see messages. Like communication between Estuary and
He's thinking about adding it in the future.
Okay, but not in this moment.
I think
No, not right now.
Okay.
one time, it was like 3 years ago, David, it has some lights here that work. I don't remember if with MIDI or with OSC.
Okay.
Probably with OSC because he's more, OSC is like open source type of MIDI. So I think it was open, probably OSC, and he was controlling that with Mini Tidal. He showed us one time. He was like, like this weekend I learned how to control this, and so he created the functions.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't know, like similarly to this, like turn on the light, and the light turned on.
Yes.
But he never continued, as far as I know, that project.
Okay.
So it's possible, but it's not like super right away.
Yes. Okay. No, it's highly recommended using the desktop Tidal Cycles version for make this. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's important to know that that the tidal need tidal use for synthesis use super collider, okay? And in this case, this is an interface for composition and have your own tools for sampling, but some part use super collider, and you need activate this minimum, these two lines, boot to connect it to the audio card, and super dir to activate all the sampling and synthesizer and SynDef and resource for Tidal, no? But it's for sound, no? For music, no? Okay, and Tidal use this, okay? Because well, super collider is really important in this equation, no? Especially for music. No? Okay, when we have this code, no, you run this part, and all these functions is custom function for Unreal. This part don't is not important. This warning is normal, no?
Still working.
This, yeah, this part and this part, no? It's necessary to mix the logic of the music with the logic of the custom function, no? Okay, and only run this code, and when we open the other file, the example file, we have different example to manipulate
No? For example, if I run this, let me run.
Other important thing, when you are in Unreal Engine, it's very important run in a standalone game.
Okay. Yes.
For activate the functions.
Yes.
Because this is that this window is for is the window to view all the things and put the blueprints and the geometry, but you need to press that button, the green button, green, el botón
Yeah.
verde. Yes,
Yeah.
to launch the video game.
Yeah, but it's important. Mali said, play in this button, not this. No, okay. No, to run in a separate windows. No, in the editor. Okay. Let me open the other. For example, I close everything. Okay, and close this. And we have another folder. The folder is Unreal, okay? With the example, and let me uncompress this file, okay? We have this project. This is a project of Unreal with the content, libraries, and all the assets necessary for video game. And we need obviously
Unreal Engine. Other important thing is the version of Unreal Engine, because
Yeah.
Unreal Engine
Yes.
have a lot of versions, and
Yeah.
The more new, it's amazing. But we develop all this in the version 5.0.3. That is the correct version.
No, any version 5 or
No, that is not true. That is not true.
No?
Someone, yes,
Okay.
other student in the International Conference of Light Coding just wrote me and tell me, I trying to do it in the very new version and something don't work. Almost everything, but some things no. And it's for that we prefer recommend the version.
Yeah, the same version. Okay.
0.3. Yes. It's
Okay.
better.
Okay. This version is I don't know, many bureaucracy protocol, blah blah blah. Don't remember what is the version, but okay, we need initial session maybe.
For installing, it's necessary have an account in Epic.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, you need an account with your email, and in Epic you can select the version.
Yes.
Version.
Okay. Well, if you have the Unreal installed, you only open this version, this file. Sorry. Okay, and we have this content. We have this part is the content inside the stage, cameras and geometries and post-process volume for manipulate the texture of the render, or static mesh, or lighting, and in this part you have all the resource using in the stage or not, no? And the magic is this this icon is the blueprint, is the visual programming for Unreal. Is you don't need a change in this part, nothing, but I show you for if you want to change, no? This is the magic. This is the box, no? With the IP address for network and the port. And if you see, this port is the same of this. A011, A011, no? Okay, and this is the same, no? Okay, and in this case, we have okay, same call, I don't know, I don't remember my own code. But okay.
It's normal.
Okay, well, it's only to change, but the important thing is that you run this, okay? Okay. Let me put this here. And this is running, okay? It's important. It's important. Run processing, okay? It's only for Bridget, no? And okay, let me put. If I put, for example, I want camera 0 in 10 seconds, okay? I know the camera 1, maybe. And you move the camera, you know?
But that is important in the beginning of the algorithm. It's not a D1, it's an ASAP.
Okay, as soon as possible. It's only one time. Yeah.
Just one time. Yes, it's like a trigger. Boom.
Okay. The name is Unreal Engine, separate and camera, no, and blend time. If I want to back to the another camera in really fast, 0.5 by hook, okay. And if I want, for example, with no one times, you know, with the cycle of the music, I have in 4 cycles a piano and a sample and silence, and this camera 1, and in the first half part, and the second, in this part, in the second part, 3 cameras, 0, 1, 2, and silence, okay? In really fast way, no? And this is it's really dramatic. Okay, and you can, for example, manipulate RGB offset color. No, in this case, for example, if I put this, I have a pattern with 2 triggers, 2 percussion, BD and BD. No, if I put, for example, I don't know, more fast. Okay. Not so fast. And in this case, it's important to understand the function. When we have the function, for example, this function or the function camera is more simple, no? No, the camera, no. This function is a ramp transition in RGB and white balance for the active camera in the video game, no? And in this case, if you see the documentation, in this camera exposure, RGB, this, okay? You have 4 parameters for the first color and 4 parameters for the second color and the time, no? RGB, white balance, RGB, white balance, and the time. For example, if I put more simple, where, okay, sub or once is the same, and put, okay, from 0 for red, 0 for green, 1 is normalized value, 0 is nothing, 1 is the maximum value. For blue, 0 for white balance is the normal white balance, no, for the camera. And to red, 1 for red, 0 for green, 0 for blue, and 0 in 1 second. Okay, 2 whites because we have 2 triggers, no? In this case, no? Or green, for example, green and 0 for blue. Or really darker, I can put the white balance, I don't know, 0.6 and reduce the amount of lighting for the lens of the camera. Is negative. For put a negative value, we need use parentheses or use semicolon. No, semicolon, no. I don't know the name for this.
Quotation marks.
A quotation mark.
Wait, exactly. For put a negative value, no? More dark and 0. Okay, and I don't know, 0.2 and negative value. Okay, and you can, yeah.
One thing, when if you can see here, all these messages is in processing, and you can say exactly what happens here, what cycle, what function, and sometimes if anything don't work, you just go to the processing to say the error, and you can orientate it a little bit about what is wrong.
Okay, these messages.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. For example, the exposure of the camera, we have this Euclidean rhythm, no? 4 trigger in 7 times inside the cycles, inside the tempo, and in this case, all this data is native function of tidal, no? Sound, legato to connect cycles and the number of the sampling or the echo for the room, the space. But this gain is for sound too. But we have exposure with 3 value. If you see this exposure, we have 3 value, from, to, and amount of time for this transition, no? Okay, and this value is a float value, 0.2 or 1 or 2.5, whatever, no? And in this case, if I put if I put a value more higher, what happened? Okay, it's too much. And we have in processing all data. For example, if I put this, we can see the data that tidal cycles send. For example, once, and we can see these values. Let me show you in here. Okay. We can a lot of information, no? The time clip per second, the number of the cycle, the amount of time between the previous trigger, the gain of the volume, the legato, the exposure. Obviously, this value is our value, no? And the normalized time, no? Remember, one is 1 second, 2 seconds, and you can use this value for other things, no? In this case, I only use this value to send, but you can use this other value because you have a lot of data from the music too, no? And for example, this, I don't know, this is for, let me circle 5 light. Well, we the offset, the light, we can for example turn off the light or turn on, but we can manipulate the light in different ways. For example, this line blinking the light, no? But we can, for example, maybe this, no, this. No. Hold on. Let me, something we found because this example haven't sound, it's only visual effects, no? In this place, maybe this, no? Okay, in this case, we have in different order, no? And if I put low, slow 4 cycles, sorry. And put more slow time for transition. Maybe more, maybe less time. Okay. And in this case, it's for lighting, no? And this intensity ramp is the value from this value in this time, no? Okay. And let me, I don't know. Okay, we have another example to moving geometry and rotate and translate. But
Ivancho,
dime.
te mandamos un mensaje de que nos quedan solo, bueno, como 18 minutos. Ajá.
Okay, maybe it's better ask some question or dude or no?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Do you have any questions or comments or?
Yes, yes.
Carmela, I know that you want to ask.
I'm just thinking, I'm wrapping my head around.
Maybe, sorry.
No, no,
You want to ask?
no, I'm just wrapping my head around all the things that we can do with it.
Yes, for example, in this screen, this is, for example, the script or the code of the concert, auto construction concert. And for example, something very interesting of this is you can compose with text all these cinematic narratives, no? For example, in this case, I don't want the spoiler about the concert, but in this case, for example, I using MIDI because I use also sometimes Ableton Live for synthesizers and effects and things like that. And in this scene, I make this musical composition with MIDI and also with samples, but connected to all with this other way inside Tidal Cycles stack for apply all these effects in just one algorithm or something like that. For example, in this one, we can see these kinds of examples, no? The Unreal Engine Camera 3 and Unreal Engine Camera 4 in blending time to 10 seconds, for example, no? It's super, after you are familiar with the language, you just read and imagine what happens, no? And that it's really nice, no? When I start with Tidal Cycles, obviously it's other language. It's like you learn Chinese or learn other music, no? Even, no? When you try to read chords, no? Or learning to see values of softwares in the music, no? But after that, when you are familiar with this syntax, you just can watch the code and imagine what happens, no? And with these tools is the same, no? For example, in Unreal Engine, it's very different because it's not writing. You can build everything with this kind of programming, no? Like linking functions but everything works like that. You can build actions or put avatars or put geometry and change materials in that way. But it's two parts of the work, no? For the beginning, you build your work, and after that, you modify your work with music. Yes, and that is super nice, no? And sometimes people ask me about the improvisation. It's possible with this kind of difficult things, I guess. Completely possible because I have the base of the code, no? I have 4 cameras, 4 samples, for example, but pre-programmed or pre-written but in the live concert, can I decide what camera use? No, for example, something very special in this kind of expression also is the generative component of the, because the each concert is different. It's the, maybe it's the same base of the code and the same history and the same scenarios, but each one can I play first one scenario before other, or can I change a little bit the sequence or the rhythm, or maybe the notes and maybe the cameras, or maybe in the case of this concert, we had also videos inside Unreal Engine. No? For example, let me show you. It's just I don't know. I'm not sure if I have the video version. Probably not. Probably I deleted yesterday. But for example, no, this is an scene. This is an scene of that concert. No, it's a forest, and that forest we found big screens with machine learning videos, and that it's super fun because you can use not only geometry, you can use videos also. No, it's like layers of different languages. No, for example,
I guess theoretically it's kind of like touch designer, like this kind of I guess coding or live coding. Because I understand touch designer, you can sort of do performative work in touch designer as well.
Yes.
But it's just two different ways of doing that.
Yes, but yes, because yes, and touch designer is little similar like this because it's connecting things, no? But the thing with touch designer is amazing to controlling also video, generative things, 3D things, but not to make music. No, it's just to the visual. You can control lights if you want, but touch not generate sound. It's you can send MIDI through Ableton Live, for example, but in fact the software don't generate sound. Touch. For example, sorry, I don't have the video, but I just want to say this is the, ¿cómo sería? Partitura.
The score?
The score, yes, this code is the score of that concert. It's a long a long code, but it's also a very exciting process. Have the environment, and for example, Ivan and I, we are on perpetual discussion. No. Yes, and he know it. No, he tell me no, but the camera is anticipated the message, and maybe you need to put more emotion in the sound here, no, when the camera enters, because yes, it's a video game environment, but the approach is very cinematographic. Yes, and something we are in process. So in process to research and think also is when you are in the VR world, everything is in 316 degrees. You don't have this square to compose the frame. No, when you have a frame, you can zoom, you can have big planes, you can direct the see, you know, the watch what happened. But in 316 it's super different because the people can see everything. What yes, you can do this and you discover this building or this forest or whatever, no? And this engine of this language can control things in real time inside the headsets, and that it's amazing also. But we think our question is more like, what can I control inside that? Because if you control very fast the camera, you feel sick with the headset. Maybe we imagine do big installations of light or something like that. No, we are in process to research this kind of experiences.
Well, you can buy the 360 virtual camera and put it in your environment that you build in Unreal, and maybe you could control that camera. I don't know if you can do it live.
Yes, yes,
Really
yes.
interesting.
Oh wow, yes.
But it costs 360 virtual camera costs a lot of money.
Oh yes.
So many.
Yes, yes, it's very expensive. Sorry. Anyone have any reflection, critic point of view? It's very accepted also. Anyone? You want to say something, Luis?
No, I think you answered. I was going to ask about the narrative again, in terms, but I think you answered by talking about the score and everything.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Sorry, something else, no?
And the code, because you're using title, right? Like you're using title. I'm just curious because I know a little bit about Luisa's research in another language, and how much do you think it, the language impacts how you, I guess, create?
Yes, not a lot. I guess I begin live coding with Super Collider.
That's very English.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Super Collider is amazing. But in my case, I discovered in Tidal the way to simplify a lot functions, and it's that was created for live coding, because it's for writing and nest functions fast, and that is very necessary when you try to make things in real time, because it's Super Collider also, but it's more difficult, I guess. You need more codes, basically, and the syntax is more strict. or I don't know, no? If you lose a dot, you lose everything. It's Super Collider, yes, yes. And in this case, I guess we are very inspired of the manage of time in Tidal, because it's cyclic. Sometimes I think it's you are very forced to do things rhythmic with these cycles and all the time. But I don't know, or in my experience, you can just make a super long cycle to make noise or make ambient or make drone or other kind of sound and music experiences. And it's true, sorry, I mean, the language impact a lot the way to think the music, I guess. Yes. Yes, maybe I need try it with other. I try also Sonic Pi to do things. Do you know Sonic Pi? No? It's other software, no? It's other language. But I feel more comfortable with this one, I guess.
Well, the nice thing about Tidal, I think, is that you can go in and have some structure, right? Because it can get very indulgent fast, right? With the improv and the experimentation, which I think is good. But when you're working in an orchestra with collaborating,
yes,
I think the structure is really nice.
Yes.
Right? Because then you're all sort of, you have a parameter. Right? And I can see how visually that can work really well too. So that's the exciting part of that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
Have you tried doing, sorry.
No, please.
Have you tried, because the live coding I'm more familiar with in terms of the sound, but collaborative live coding with an image, that's what you both do all the time?
You mean if Ivan do the environment and I do the music, or
Or
what?
no, you both do the environment and music together, or do you have one person doing one and one person doing the other?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, for example, in this one case, we build the concept together, no? And when I have a lot of experience in 3D modeling because I'm architect, and Ivan is a designer, and I built all the work, but Ivan programming this tool. And for example, sometimes we make music together and the visuals also, but in this specific project, I do the music is my my work, and Ivan do all these the cinematographic decisions.
Okay.
Yes, yes, but it's mixing work, I guess. No, sometimes he told me, okay, in the next project, I want to do music also. Okay, perfect.
But in a live situation, do you ever like jump into each other's code and like and get mad at each other, or you just like sort it out? Because like again, when we're collaborating and we don't know each other so well, there's like sort of, I guess, how do you put, like
Adjustment period.
yeah, and into getting to know you period, and then we have to sort of establish like it's okay if you want to change my code.
Yes, yes.
So there's this weird human social sort of interaction that we have too when we're coding.
Yes.
So, but I guess it's very different if you're very familiar with each other.
Absolutely, and if it's your husband and he don't clean your house, yes, yes, it's most difficult the interaction, but also it's beautiful collaborate because in the final product we see all the process also, all the discussions, all the, and sometimes I accept you're right, you're right in this, and he tell me also the same, no, yes, you're right in this, no.
If you usually save your code, like you have it, then you go home and like, this was bad. That kind of thing, like you're able to do that just from the artifacts of the live. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes, great. Yes.
You keep an archive of all your like coding performances, like you store them so that when you can go back and look at them at another time, or do you just like to start from scratch every time you have a performance?
Sometimes it depends of the project. When we are in algorithm context, for example, I'm very enjoy start from scratch because it's everything is possible. No, you start blah 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 blah, and after that you see the code and you keep the best parts of that code, and that works for other composition. But for example, in this kind of project for gallery spaces or for festivals, no, but because in the electronic music festival context, it's very different, no. For example, we play in Mutec Festival and also in Sonar Festival in Spain, and that is it's very stressing, no, because everything need be perfect because the people pay a lot of money to see that performance, no, and that's in that context we take risks, but not a lot. We try to prepare and have the code and rehearsal like any rock band or whatever, no, and that is very very cool. Have two different or three or four different ways to approach to live coding, no. I guess that is very beautiful.
sorry, we have to end the workshop. I don't know if you want to say goodbye, Ivan. You can keep talking. Just to wrap up and say goodbye to Ivan and thanks, Malitzin and Ivan for this information on the workshop.
And also, on Thursday, Malitzin will be performing the auto construction
Yes,
concert.
please
so this is
come
like
if you can.
a peek behind the curtain, but you can see it actually happen and the concepts applied in real time on Thursday at Factory.
Yes, Christina. No, thank you so much for attend this.
Yeah.
So, Ivan, do you want to say
Thank
something?
you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. We did it.